The FM3 has received an enormous update in the form of Firmware 8.0 beta. Fractal released this just recently, and I've been eagerly awaiting this, as I know many in the Fractal community have. I think there was some nervousness the FM3 was getting left behind, as over the last 7 or 8 months, since the previous 7.0 firmware for the FM3. We've all watched the Axe FX3, the flagship, and the bigger brother, the FM9, get these really cool new features, and it's been a little bit of jealousy kicking in, I think, certainly for myself, thinking, when's this going to come to the FM3? But fears were unfounded. There's no abandonment of the FM3. I think what Cliff and the guys at Fractal are doing was just biding their time and rolling all of these new features into one enormous mega update for the FM3. And that's what we've received now. And yeah, the headline standout feature I think that everyone's been kind of clamoring for, I've been most excited about, is the idea of this gapless switching between channels, scenes, and even presets. And this is huge really, because it's something I didn't think was going to be possible to do without some kind of hardware change. But whatever magical voodoo's gone on under the hood, they've been able to really reduce that gap, the time it takes to switch between a channel on an effect block or a scene within a preset, and even presets themselves. And this could be an absolute game changer when it comes to how you might use the unit live. I know I'm going to be re-evaluating some of my live usage of the FM3 and how I can potentially incorporate more use of preset changes between songs rather than just necessarily relying on one preset and living from switching scene to scene. If all's gone to plan, during the intro of the video, you'll have seen me switching between presets with the new 8.0 firmware, maybe even comparing that to the 7.0 firmware. If I haven't done that already, we'll definitely be looking at it in just a moment. And I'm also going to be talking about some of the other new features. There's new effects, there's new amps, there's an overhaul of the amp modeling itself. Of course, before applying any major new updates, you want to make sure you've done a full backup, your system settings, your presets, your custom IRs, etc. We're in FM3 edit right now, but I'm going to launch FractalBot. This makes it super easy to do the backups. So I'm going to go into receive mode. So I'm choosing where to save files to. I've got a Dropbox folder here I'm going to use. And then all you do is hit begin, choose the items you want. So this is backing up the full FM3, and then hit OK. Backup complete. Now we want to get the 8.0 beta firmware onto the FM3. Now I'm going to take you through how to get Gapless set up. There's a few settings we have to make actually on the device in order to make this all work smoothly and seamlessly. Yeah, we need to go into the global settings and configure the Gapless and then upgrade all the presets. And this is the thing that can take quite a bit of time. So I'm going to go into setup on device here, and then global settings, config, which we are there already, and then the Gapless changes. So where we go. Okay. So it has 3 settings: off, channel and scene, and all. And then we need this to be set to all. And then also the config and the spillover needs to be all as well. The final thing we have to do to make this all work is that presets have to be saved under the new 8.0 firmware system. So you could do this obviously manually, but they have included a helpful feature within the system utilities here to do it automatically. Obviously any new presets you create on 8.0 firmware is going to be automatically like that anyway, but this is just for your existing ones. And yeah, really importantly, as it notes there, any presets that you then make under 8.0 and saved are not going to be compatible then going backwards to previous firmware, to 7.0. So to do this, to upgrade, we go exit from here, go down to utilities, scroll across to presets, and then upgrade all presets. And I think this can only be done on device, so you can't do this through FM3 Edit or FractalBot, I'm pretty sure there. So we're going to upgrade all presets, push A, and upgrade all presets to the current firmware. This will take a while. They even warn you on the device it's going to take some time. So we hit enter, and it's going to go through all of the presets, all 512 on the device, and upgrade them to be compatible with 8.0 so we can get this lovely gapless switching. And yeah, it's given us an ETA as well, calculating. It has to calculate it. This is how long it's going to take. So this is saying 20-ish minutes, 19, 20 minutes. So I'm just going to let this run through, of course. I'll just speed through this and we'll see you back here when it's done. So we're all updated and set up for Gapless. I have taken a couple of days break from when I did the update just to set up some patches, record the intro track that I was using just to show the comparison with 7.0. So I created like a clean with a deluxe reverb, a chime with the new AC30 Brilliant, crunch with the new 2203 100-watt JCM 800, and then like a full-on drive with the 5153 Stealth Red. And that's what I was switching between in the comparison track and the opening track. So with the clean, so there's my clean deluxe reverb, and if I switch to the chime, that's pretty quick. Back to clean. Certainly way quicker than it was with 7.0, and it's not like instantaneous on the down push of the button, but it's short enough that for most use cases, and certainly the use cases that I need gapless switching for, it's going to be way quick enough for. I don't know how they're exactly doing it technically. It's incredible that they've been able to do it at all. And I'm not sure how it would compare to like the Tone Master Pro or the Helix when you have dedicated separate paths. That might be even quicker, but really when it's this good, I think that, yeah, that's certainly going to be good enough. Now, one thing I have noticed, and this may have something to do with how they're actually implementing this, is if I change from multiple patches really quickly, it starts to noticeably become a lag again. So if I go from the clean and start doing this, you can kind of like force a longer gap. So maybe that has something to do with how it's being processed and, I don't know, the spillover aspect to it. So yeah, maybe if you're going every other second switching presets, it's going to become more of a gap. But again, like I say, for most sensible use cases of what we want from gapless switching, I think it's going to be absolutely fine. And like I say, it's going to allow me to reevaluate how I can perhaps access some additional sounds more quickly when I've run out of blocks or DSP in a current preset. Sometimes it does actually seem completely seamless, and then other times there's that teeny like millisecond of a gap. But I think on the intro track, when I did the recording of it, the way that I did two performances, one that actually filmed, and then one that was not filmed, just a double tracked it for the riffs and things. But I still performed it the same with the switching. And on the recording version with the 8.0 test, I think it's really close to being seamless. And it's more than good enough to, I think, get away with that in a live setting. You wouldn't necessarily record that way, obviously. There's no need. You just use modern recording techniques to not have to switch. But if you had to, for whatever reason, it certainly is capable. And in the live scenario, this is absolutely awesome. So, I mean, props to the guys at Fractal for doing this, because we're now, how many years in? 6 years into the XFX3, 5 years into the FM3. To give such an incredibly powerful upgrade at this point in the life cycle is absolutely awesome. And that's not including all of the other stuff that's included in this 8.0 update as well. So the amp modeling has been overhauled in general with the Cygnus X3. All the amps have been refined, tweaked, updated. So there may be some adjustments to some of your favorite sounds. I've been testing that on some of my favorite main presets. At the end of the video, I'm going to put a back-to-back with my main dumble preset, where I did a couple of takes on the 7.0 and then on the 8, so I'll switch between those. They've also caught the FM3 up to the XFX3 and FM9 with regards to the amp models. So we've got all of the new amp models, like the aforementioned 2203, the AC30 Brilliant, we've got the 5153 Stealth, all of them now up to date. Everything is parity, I think, with what the XFX3 and FM9 has. That also goes for the drive blocks. So we've got the Nobles OD1, the the Morning Glory. I think they call it Sunrise Splendor. I'm not going to demo all the new amp models and effects. There's plenty of other people doing videos like that. Whole point of this video was to focus on the gapless switching and really testing that. So what I'll do now is put some back-to-backs of the switching on 7.0 and 8.0. Then I'll close out the video with the test of my main performance preset, my main dumble preset on 7.0 and 8.0, just to hear some of the tonal differences between them, if any. So a huge thanks to Cliff and all the guys at Fractal for making us FM3 users very, very happy with this update. I'm going to spend months now digging into it and enjoying all the new features. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you've enjoyed it, do leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment if you've got any questions or anything else you'd like me to test in this new firmware. Thanks again so much, guys. If you do want to help me and support me, you could check out my app Solo for fretboard visualization training and my course Ultimate Fretboard Visualization. All links for that are in the description below. And yeah, until next time, bye-bye.